2 General Electric F404 engines on it that generate about 36,000 pounds of thrust, and we're going to be looking at that in just a moment. Now what that aircraft is doing there is taxiing down to the left. You know, I was talking about landing gear earlier. I want you to look at the landing gear on that FA-18. You see how squatty it is on the back versus the landing gear on the F-117 Nighthawk, which is kind of straight and spindly, and that's the same landing gear that's on the F-15 Eagle. Just up in the Mason area north of Cincinnati. Keep your eyes on the landing light. When you see it move, it'll be on the roll.
Watch, guys. Here it goes. Demonstrating the ability to surprise the enemy using high speed. As he reaches show center, he'll select full afterburner, the 5th stage of a jet engine, pouring raw jet fuel into the exhaust and pull to the vertical, subjecting himself to 8 times the force of fast, just under the speed of sound. He will not exceed the speed of sound, because if he did, every car alarm would go off and every window in the area would be broken. Here it comes. It's the Hornet.
He's probably up around 9,000 feet right now. Did an aileron roll, came back 1, and he's come back straight down to about 4,500 feet and start pulling back on the G back to show center for the next maneuver, which is the double Immelman.
The double Immelman, a World War I maneuver that consists of a half a loop and a half a roll, but he's going to do it twice. And how many vertical feet?
It's probably top out at about 8,000 feet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, from the left, demonstrating the superb handling characteristics of the Hornet, the double Immelman. Spiraling directly toward the ground. All Navy fighter pilots undergo a grueling 2 years of flight training before earning their wings of gold. Lieutenant Commander Felini earned his from Naval Air Station Meridian. Now as he extends away, Catfish, what's he going to do next?
They're just tending away to come back in for the mid-radius turn, so he'll approach show center at about 350 knots, select full afterburner, go into a left-hand turn, and he'll turn basically inside of about 3/4 of a mile, showing the awesome ability to basically point our nose wherever we need to. During the maneuver, he'll be pulling anywhere in excess of about 6.5 Gs, so Bobo weighs about 180 pounds, and he weighs almost 3/4 of a ton the entire time through that turn.
Wow, that will put you out. Very well-conditioned pilots. Now let's check out. As we see the afterburner glow from the tailpipe, when it goes into that turn, you'll be able to see it. From the left, the Hornet, minimum
must possess is the ability to land on an aircraft carrier at sea with a moving and sometimes pitching flight deck. Navy and Marine Corps pilots are trained to hit the landing area with pinpoint accuracy, and not so much as a landing as it is a controlled crash. Watch now in the carrier configuration pass. You can see the tail hook, and it's the tail hook that catches one of 4 wires stretched across the deck. The carrier configuration pass.
About 100, maybe 90 knots over the top.
A little over 200 miles, throws the stick to the left with 1/2 of a roll, and that is the 1/2 U-8 maneuver. Now, from the right, Lieutenant Commander Felini is now performing a repositioning maneuver to align his aircraft with our show line. He'll reach show center at just over 300 miles per hour and demonstrate the superb nose authority and the ability of the FA-18 to point at an adversary aircraft. We call this the pitch rate demo. Watch the nose come almost straight up. Being squeezed and becomes a visible cloud on the back of the airplane. Fly at almost twice the speed of sound, 1.8 times the speed of sound, and he'll be coming through at about 110 miles per hour. From the right, the Hornet's high alpha pass. Very few other airplanes in the world can do this, and particularly this Hornet, because it has 2 very, very capable flight control computers, is able to bring that nose some 30 degrees up above the horizon. When he reaches show center, he'll select maximum afterburner by pushing his throttles all the way forward past mill power into the afterburner and pull up through the vertical and do a Cuban 8. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, at 120 miles per hour across the Navy and Marine Corps pilot to slow his aircraft and prepare it for landing. The Hornet will approach from the right at about 500 feet, 350 miles an hour, and perform the overhead brake to get back into the carrier quickly for landing. And
and then you'll be able to listen for the precise power changes the pilot makes as he expertly guides this aircraft into the ground. He's only got about 15 to 18 seconds in order to get lined up, and this is a difficult thing to do on board a carrier, isn't it?
Definitely is. Out of the brake, he was obviously putting the gear down, the flaps down, and we're trying to guide it to an 18-second groove like behind the ship for lineup corrections, and then flying that meatball. And it's a Fresnel lens that we use. It controls our glide slope. Again, if it's high, we try to let it down, put it between those downs. If it's low, we try to power it back up. Bobo's going to touch down. You'll see the excellent ability for us to get airborne again quickly. And we do that. We select full power every time we land in case we miss those wires.
Watch the landing gear collapse too here. Not collapse, but squeeze up. Watch it. See it? Bend back. If Bobo's tail hook on an actual aircraft carrier had not caught one of those 4 wires, it would have been called a bolter. And he would have been able to go around. That even when the wire catches, the hook catches the wire, that throttle still goes forward.
Absolutely. If you don't do that, imagine you miss those wires, you're going to be staring in the face full of water pretty quickly as you head into the drink, as we like to call it.
And you don't want to be going into the drink.
Definitely not.